Perfect. Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing great. Jeannie Andreessen here, interior design business coach. I help interior designers increase their earnings while reclaiming their time. And today we are talking about five most valuable skills, the five most valuable skills that I learned from my 9 to 5 that have brought me success not only in my own business, but honestly more so for interior designers and their businesses. And so that's what we're going to be walking through today. I'm really excited to go and take like a little bit of a deep dive in here because I will tell you, I've been working with designers now exclusively for 2.5 years. And at this point, I have worked with close to 50 designers one on one. And it has been so awesome. I mean, has someone who has never been an interior designer, how have I been able to help interior designers 2 times or 3 times their business revenue without feeling like they have to work harder or add more hours to their work week? Like, how have I been able to do that? Well, I'm going to share with you today a little bit about how that is. Like, why is that possible? How is that possible? So, if you're new to me, again, I do interior design business coaching, and I really focus on managing your time, reclaiming your time, being in control of your business, and helping you have money processes in place that allow you to be able to increase your earnings and really succeed in your business. Those are really kind of the core areas I touch on in the beginning when I start working with designers. And so again, I'm not an interior designer. My best friend is an interior designer. I learned about what she was struggling with in business, and that's when it became very obvious that the experience that I have from working in the corporate world for almost 10 years is directly relatable to an interior designer's business, and what you have not been taught in business that upon learning these things create a ton of success. So all of that to say, I'm actually going to be sharing a little bit more about that today. So let's talk about my 9 to 5. What was that? What did that look like? Like, how did I get to this place where I'm able to help designers so significantly? So I started with a financial services firm, a financial planning firm, the day after I graduated college. I was 22 years old. And although I had some really good internship experience, I also had, small business experience, meaning I ran a babysitting business in my early 20s. So I was just kind of getting that started too. I didn't have core business experience or expertise. Now, this company that I joined is a company whose business really thrives on attracting new people into the business who don't know anything about financial planning and have never run a business before, and teaching them how to run a business and basically how to do financial planning. That was this company's core business model. And this company's been around for almost 200 years. So it's not like this, crazy scam that it was a startup and, they failed right away. Not at all. This company's been around for 200 years. So they really knew what they were doing, and they really do know what they are doing in this way. And they realized that their best financial advisors are actually people who want to start a business, don't have any idea what they want that business to be, but they're very entrepreneurial minded and are looking for the tools to be able to make their business successful. And then also people who have an interest in financial planning, believe in it, kind of really relate to it character-wise, and then are interested in studying it and being able to help others do so. So that's the company I joined when I was 22 years old. And I, over time became really involved in recruiting for them. So it was actually just maybe 6 months in, I started kind of in an admin position. And then I was brought in, they extended an offer for me to be a recruiter with them. And I, over those 9 years, built a recruiting business inside of that company. It was so important that I brought in the right people and I had a recruiting team under me that they were bringing in the right people and we were articulating the right messages, and that when those individuals joined, that they succeeded in business. All of that mattered when it came to the business that I was running. All of that mattered. But what I want to emphasize is that at 22 years old, I didn't know anything really about running a business. But because these financial advisors had to succeed in business, and because I had to succeed in recruiting the right ones, I needed to learn not only what they needed to know to be successful, but also I took all of that and applied it to my own recruiting and really built a recruiting business off of those, a successful recruiting business off of those exact same foundational skills. So these financial advisors, I've shared this before, they are people who had weekly coaches, weekly sales coaches, people to help make sure that they were succeeding. They had weekly mentoring, and they had weeks of training. They actually would have training on a weekly basis for years, absolutely years, to make sure that they succeeded. And over those 9 years, I sat in on a lot of those trainings. I did a lot of the trainings, meaning like I was conducting, a lot of the trainings. I made sure that they were trained on the right things. I was in charge of the training calendar. And I also did sales coaching. So I was one of the people to make sure that they were adopting their daily habits of success so that they were able to succeed in their business. So I had to, in a lot of ways, master their role. I had to know their role inside and out. And not only did I apply that to my own business, but I was able to use it in my recruiting to attract the right people to join our firm. And that I saw so much success being able to take all of those principles and apply it to my role and in this firm. I remember first sitting in on training sessions and being absolutely mind blown by what I was learning. I learned about sales skills. I learned about calendar management. I learned about time management. I learned about so much that I could not get enough of it, because I just felt like these are all of the secrets that a lot of people are not taught in business that really bring a ton of success. It's kind of the stuff going on in the back that allows someone to be successful in the front. So all of that said, fast forward to when I was talking to my best friend, and she said, Jeannie, you need to work with designers. None of us were trained on how to run businesses. And I thought, oh my God, I am here to help. So I today want to share with you the 5 most valuable skills. I literally was jotting out, I was brainstorming, like, what are all the most valuable skills I would say that I learned from my 9 to 5 that I now teach today? And I had like 15, 20 things written down. I'm like, okay, what are the top 5 that not only do I find to be the most valuable for myself, but also what I'm teaching designers, and I see a major difference in how they run their businesses after they learn these skills. So I want to walk through the 5 that stand out the most to me, and I think that these are going to be really helpful for you to pick up on, because again, you're probably wondering, like, how the hell does Jeannie know how to coach a designer? How does she know what we're going through in business? I know that is, something that I have definitely heard before, that has been an objection a couple of times. And I want to make sure that I'm sharing with you that these are the things that I was taught, that I learned, and what I apply now as I work with my clients. So the first most valuable skill that I was taught from my 9 to 5 that helps you run a business crazy effectively and profitably is how to manage your time effectively. I learned how to manage my time effectively over the course of 9 years with that firm. This was not I have one boss who tells me how to run my time. This was, I have not only, a boss and mentor who taught me how to be able to manage my time effectively. But then I sat in on, I can't even, countless sessions, mentoring sessions, training sessions on how to effectively manage your time in your small business. There's a lot that's involved in time management. And if you are not managing your time effectively, you are not going to be successful in business, because time is how you make money. So if you're operating really ineffectively, if you are operating inefficiently, if you're not spending your time on the right things, you are going to be encountering the same problems over and over again and feeling really, really frustrated and confused as to why. So here's just a handful of the things that I learned that fall under this umbrella of how to manage your time effectively. So I learned about how to manage appointments and streamline them effectively. So how to manage appointments, where to put them in a calendar, how to put them in a calendar, how to make sure they're on other people's calendars, and how to make sure that there are not inefficiencies in your calendar so that you can maximize your time. So I learned a lot about appointments, I also learned a lot about how to protect my time, from people who should not be on my calendar, how to protect my time from myself if I know myself well enough and know that there are certain things I need to get done earlier in the day versus later in the day. How to protect my time. So that includes qualifying clients, that includes saying no, declining undesirable business, identifying if something is worth your time, identifying if it's not, and again, how to say no to it and decline it. So it's not only about what you're spending time on, it's also about what you're saying no to and making sure that the two of those things match the results that you are wanting to achieve in business. So learning how to manage my time effectively, absolutely by far to me, is the most essential skill that I took away, the most essential business skill that I took away that allowed me to succeed, is allowing me to succeed in business. And it's the first thing I teach on in business school for designers. And it is where I see the biggest result as well. Because when you really get on top of this, I mean, you become unstoppable with how you are leveraging your time and growing your business. Okay, so that was the first one. Second thing I learned in business, or from my 9 to 5, second most essential business skill and valuable business school, is that ideal clients and client minimums are not the same thing, and they both need to exist for your business to grow. You may have heard about client minimums, you may not have, you may only a little bit understand it, or you may totally have client minimums in your business. But if client minimums are new to you, let me know, and I will send you a live that I did about why client minimums are essential in your design business. But to me, client minimums are an absolute non-negotiable, and everybody should have a client minimum. You should not be saying yes to everybody. Your door should not be open to everybody, because you only have so much time, and you want to make sure that you are profitable in business, and you do that by being really clear on who you are spending your time with, what projects you're saying yes to, what clients you're saying yes to. Now, that is not the same as having an ideal client in mind. Your ideal client, your client minimum are two different things, but if you think that they're the same thing, that can get really muddy and confusing. And honestly, if you think they're the same thing, it probably is also leading you to not identify either of those. Because if you identify one, you're like, wait, it doesn't really match with this, and then this doesn't match with this, and then you end up saying yes to everybody. Your ideal client, your client minimums are not the same. Client minimums are the minimum client that you are working with in your business, and your ideal client is, who are you aiming after? Who do you want to bring into your business? Who do you want to attract to your business? Two totally different things, but both work together to grow your business. Both of those things need to be in place and identified. Now, the third most valuable skill that I learned from my 9 to 5 is that the most successful business owners realize that they are fully in control of their business and of their business success. The absolute most successful business owners fully recognize that they are in charge of their own success. The least successful business owners, the ones who do not make it, are constantly waiting for business to come to them. They are taking that passenger seat and getting really frustrated when, clients are, let's say, not following through on things that they said that they were interested in, whose budgets change, who don't really understand, that boundaries are a thing. When you are in the passenger seat of running your business, you are essentially letting your business control you and run you versus you running it. And when you do that, you are powerless. And you're seeing the business as such. You are seeing the world as such, and you're seeing the business as such. So when you have down months, when you have slower months, you're sitting back and you're frustrated. You're wondering why business isn't coming your way. But the ones who have the most successful business are those who recognize that business will come their way if they're putting themselves out there to make business happen. We saw this time and time again in my former career, in my 9 to 5. There were people who walked in to starting this business and really thought that it was going to be easy and that it was going to come their way and that everyone was going to say yes when they extended their offer. And that was not the case. And instead of realizing that they needed to go out there and get it, or they needed to go out there and do something different in their processes or in their business or any of that, there were people who took a back seat and said that this is, too much work for them and they'd rather go work for somebody else. The ones who really, really succeeded became a student of their own business, wanting to learn, wanting to implement, wanting to grow, always trying to figure out what they could do better at. My clients are those people. My clients are absolutely the ones who hire me and work with me, and they learn and they implement and they grow. My best clients are taking control of their business, and that is allowing their business to flourish. So I want to paint that picture for you. I want to offer that to you so that you can identify which role you've been playing. Have you been playing the driver, or have you been playing the passenger in your own business? The most successful business owners recognize that they are fully in control and that they are the drivers of their business. Fourth most valuable business skill I learned from my 9 to 5 is that processes are everything. Processes are everything. Processes are so important. Processes allow you to work efficiently. Working efficiently saves you time. Having time saved means you're able to spend it doing more profitable, skills. Being able to put yourself out there more, meet with more people, take on another client potentially, be more intentional with the clients that you do have so you're able to make money off of them. You're not leaving money on the table. Processes allow you to do all that. Working efficiently is truly like the best feeling in the world. I cannot stand my biggest pet peeve. I probably have a ton of them actually, but one of my biggest pet peeves is operating inefficiently. I can't stand when I see other people operating inefficiently and it's like affecting me in some way. And I also cannot stand when I know that I am operating operating inefficiently because I haven't created a process around something. So processes save you time, and they make sure that things do not fall through the cracks. So they also give you confidence. They make you better, they make you stronger. When you are better and stronger, you are way more confident in front of your clients. You are way more confident when you're sending out design proposals. And so when things are not falling through the cracks, it just allows you to be that much more confident in a result that you're telling them that you're going to be able to deliver. So that's number 4, is that processes are everything. They also allow you to be dependable and reliable. So when you tell somebody, I will get this to you on Friday, but you don't have a process for holding yourself accountable to follow through with something by Friday, people are going to see you as not being dependable or reliable. Not a great way to run a business or make more money in it. So processes are really, really important. They allow you to be better, be stronger, be faster. But when I say faster, you're not rushing haphazardly. It's about like having urgency and moving people forward, moving yourself forward. Everybody wants everything to be moving forward all the time, but not haphazardly. Urgency is about having kind of like a fire under your butt, and at the same time being careful that, because you have processes in place, careful that everything's still accounted for. So number 5, let me walk through these again. So far, 5, again, we're covering the 5 most valuable skills that I learned from my corporate experience, from my 9 to 5. First one was how to manage my time effectively. Second one was that ideal clients and client minimums are not the same thing, but they're both very important and need to be in your business, and they work together. Number 3 is that the most successful business owners have themselves in the driver's seat of their business. They recognize that they are fully in control of their business and their business success. Number 4, processes are everything. Processes are your golden ticket to success. And number 5, the number 5 thing that I learned from my 9 to 5, most valuable business skill that I now teach designers to do and I do myself, is you have to track things. No, I am not talking about, but it's also important, tracking items and shipping time and lead times and delivery times and all of that. No, you have to track your own data and numbers. You have to know your numbers. You've got to be paying attention to your numbers if you want your business to grow and succeed. You have to have clarity on how much money that you're bringing in on an annual basis, on a quarterly basis, on a monthly basis. You have to be paying attention to, tracking your time and how you're spending your time, where your time is going. It's about knowing, instead of guessing that everything is being taken care of or everything is fine or you're making a ton of money. It's about knowing it, so that then you can go back and you can pay attention and you can figure out how to be more profitable or more efficient. Those are kind of obviously like the 2 main things you want to be in business: efficient and profitable. And you get there, you get better at your own game by tracking things. One thing that I recently started tracking in business, because I'm getting better at business and I have more business coming my way. Keep in mind, I'm still a newer-ish business owner. Where before I wasn't tracking this because it wasn't necessary, because I hate even saying this, but I had it all in my head. Can we all relate to that? Drop a 1 if you can relate to that. So one of the things I started tracking recently is how many prospective clients come my way and where did they come from? How did they hear of me? And then how many of them ended up working with me? So I'm starting to track that so that I can get clear on what my ratios are of prospective clients to clients. I can get clear on my marketing tactics and what's working and what's not working. these things allow me to double down on what's working and improve or eliminate what's not. So if I notice that every person who comes from my Facebook page ends up not working with me, actually in business, they end up not following through, it tells me that something's going on with my Facebook that is like an ineffective source of prospective clients. Now that's not the case, and I don't really do much on Facebook. But anyways, that's just an example of like how to be able, or I can take a look at that and be like, okay, so what can I do differently on Facebook to be able to educate my, prospective clients a little bit better? I track the reasons why somebody says that they're not working with me. That allows me to be able to get ahead of that. Like this kind of stuff is what is necessary to be able to get better and stronger in your business. So you have to track things. You cannot just be winging it. If you are winging it, you can do that. That's totally fine. You can totally wing it. So even when I say you can't wing it, you just can't wing it if you want to grow and be better. You've got to be paying attention to actual data. And so where I encourage that my clients start is knowing their revenue numbers, their expenses, and their profit, and paying attention to those. So those really, my gosh, I have so many more things that I wrote down. I'm honestly glancing at it right now. Sales skills, I do a lot, especially with my private clients. I do a lot of sales skill coaching. Processes, track things. Not everyone is worth your time, and that's okay. How to audit my time. How to qualify prospects. Like a lot of it actually has to do with time. But I am telling you that when those things are nailed, that is when I see my clients become more in control of their business. They are confident in their business and their processes. They feel that they're in control of their business and their time, and they begin to work less and their earnings tick up. I have been able to take those 5 things that I learned from, honestly, financial advisors. I learned these things from financial advisors, millionaire financial advisors with gray hair, because these things applied in their business too. And we think that a lot of this stuff is really complicated. It's not. It all starts with these business foundations. Once you have these things in place, you are able to build off of them. You are able to begin to grow your business. So I wanted to walk you through that because, again, there are moments even for me where I will be talking to Joanne, my bestie, and I will say to her, like, I still can't believe that over those 9 years, as I was accumulating all of this expertise, knowledge, training, that not only it directly relates to my clients, my interior design clients, and into an interior design business, but also to watch how to be that resource to designers that they did not get when they started their business. They did not have a mentor walking them through these things. Or, again, so many of my clients worked under another designer who didn't have good habits, who did not teach them this stuff in the way of what they should be doing. They taught a lot on like how not to run a business. That's what I've learned. So anyways, I wanted to walk you through that so I can really paint a clear picture of these are the things I learned in my 9 to 5. I applied them not only to my own recruiting business when I was with that firm, but also taught these to financial advisors to help them succeed. And now I take all of this and I package it up and I give it to my clients. I pour it directly into my clients. And that really is the work I do and how I got to this place of being able to be such a resource to designers and take them from winging it and being aimless to being really focused and helping them be in the driver's seat, increase their earnings, claim their time, be in full control of their time, and feel happier and more fulfilled than ever in business. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Like, truly, any questions at all in regards to anything that I've covered today. But I wanted to share that with you because I really may not have come from an interior design background, but I did come from a corporate role in a really entrepreneurial setting and gathered all of this knowledge, and now I've taken it and I'm pouring it into you. Again, that company's been around for like almost 200 years. I think it's like 170 years or something like that. Now I want to look it up. Um, and they've gotten to this place of having a well-oiled machine of knowing who is going to succeed at business, teaching them the exact things that'll help them succeed, tracking those things and knowing that if they're doing them, they're going to succeed in business. That is where I came from. That is the environment I came from. That is where I learned all of this. And now here I am taking all this and pouring it directly back into you. So if you have any questions for me, let me know. If this is at all piquing your interest or allows you to feel like, yeah, I might need that in my life, just hang with me. I'll be sharing a lot more over the next few weeks. And if you want a quick win today, I created a confident charging guide that those who are downloading it are loving. I want you to stop underestimating your own budget and finances and your own design fees. So head to the link in my bio to snag my confident charging guide so you are not under earning as you put a proposal out there for your next project. So if you want a quick win today, head to the link in my bio and you can snag that or comment guide and I will send it directly in your DMs. That's what I have for you today. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.